December is here. Pop the kettle on, slide a mince pie in the oven, and let's get cosy. In this episode, our fingers find firmness. The shortest day is here, and we worship at the altar of toffee sauce. Welcome to Biophilic. I'm Angela Wallace. Direct from the back garden, this is episode 14, Yule, midwinter. Weeding is feeding. A prodigious, pale, imperfect full moon called me out of doors early this morning. Clouds were moving quickly, bouncing across the sky. I put energy into clearing the first wildflower meadow of large dried stems, leaves and grasses. This tidy up ensures the area is less nutrient dense, which is important as wildflowers thrive on poor soils. One big barrow of grass made its way to the side of the house to decompose and become a home for all manner of beasties. And one big barrow of the brown waste, stems and leaves, were poked and pulled through the dead hedge like a game of kerplunk. None of this is perfect. My unsolicited advice would be to never attempt gardening perfection. Nature itself is a state of perfection, evoking bliss, which is a state close to perfect happiness. Tidy time. This led on to a general tidying of the potting bench, which runs along the east-facing fence. I tipped out fetid, leafy rainwater from pots onto the filberts, letting all the rotting decay return to the woodland zone to nourish soil and root. Woodlands thrive on lots and lots of nutrients. A woodland area in your garden will eat up all your waste and say thank you by providing habitats for all creatures. Your woodland space is a calming place to relax and looks amazing in every season. Next was a tidying up and tying in of the potting bench brambles. I carefully cut away spent fruited stems, letting them drop to the ground. These are all jobs I am sure to wear gloves for. 2 pairs today to deter the stink and the cold and the thorns. An hour well spent and much success in this small space. Measure success on your own terms. Recent storms had tumbled out the broken terracotta from the bug hotel under the love seat. Crouching, I repositioned the tiles and slotted in the pots, stuffing them with decaying dried leaves. Leaves that settle everywhere at this time of year provide homes for overwintering insects. Insects that feed the birds and are vital to the food chain ecosystem in your nature space. The easiest way you can increase biodiversity in your garden is by allowing spaces for nature. Do this easily by tidying up less, and what you do have to tidy, make into leaf and log piles. While fixing the bug hotel, my fingertips unearthed a waxy firmness of green, newly emergent daffodil shoots. They are coming. Yule. Midwinter. A solstice. Yule is considered the first day of astronomical winter, the shortest day in the northern hemisphere. Midwinter has the least amount of daylight hours in the whole year. These hours remain consistent up to Christmas Day, and then steadily daylight begins to grow, minute by precious minute. The garden is in deep rest mode now, with rhubarbs long disappeared underground. The trees tremble bare of leaves, fruit bushes cloaked in brown snoods, yet life carries on. The birds are a constant, mostly blackbirds with mud-streaked beaks, and a robin hopping across our path. Fat kales are gaining mass, winter flowering jasmine enjoy their first year rooting down, and our water avens, flowers peach and campanulate perfect in the pond. This is all midwinter. Yule is an important moment in our journey through the quarters. It's a good day to plant garlic cloves if you haven't already. This winter solstice lights a fire in us to give thanks for firewood, for a full ash pan, for central heating, for fairy lights, for friends to laugh with. It is a time to give thanks for the wind blasting through the garden, for our big coat, for mince pies, and for hellebores. A winter rose. One essential perennial plant for your winter nature garden is the hellebore. With over 20 varieties, it is sometimes called the Christmas or Lenten rose. Hellebores are hardy and so beautiful. I went out today to visit with one whose pretty face lit the overcast afternoon. 5 pink blush and green petals surrounding a cloudburst of prolifically perfect anthers. This plant will give and give all season long, right through to Lent, as the name suggests. When the flower buds appear this month, cut away the foliage to show the flowers off to their full potential. This is good practice to keep your plants healthy. However, the leaf shapes are so dynamic and joyful that so far I've left them on this year. Ode to Seeds. The days leading up to winter festivities are ideal to allow quiet time to look through seed collected across the quarters. There is cow parsley for the apple orchard, and Welsh poppy to scatter in the meadows, clover to patch up the beaten lawn, and winter aconite for the woodland. These round mustard yellow power balls I planted along the dead hedge and at the corner of the path. Intersections and boundaries within your space are prime locations to create natural planted tableaus. Think about the plants and flowers you would like to see in winter, whether for their structure, scent or shape, and then begin. Aconite seeds can take years to show themselves above ground, so it's best to forget about them. Move on, busying body and mind with other plants, other projects, until one day, quite suddenly, in a moment of quiet, there they will be, green and yellow survivors. Laughter will pour out of us into the garden, absorbed by the ground and trees, by the green and brown, water, earth and air, carrying chuckles over the fence, to perhaps delight another. Honestly, the lunaria are casting skins now. Elements turn seed cases papery, like silver-dipped moons on a smith's bench. Seeds spread on the wind, finding earth, who knows where, to germinate in cold, harsh conditions, delighting with their lush green crowns. Next year, a recipe for toffee sauce. My eldest asked what I'd like for Christmas, and hoping to relegate sticky spillages to the past, I decided on a jam funnel. It was christened by making toffee sauce with butter, sugar and cream, the pan hot, the glass jars gleaming. It was incredibly easy and delicious, so here's the recipe. Recipe for toffee sauce. 300 ml double cream, 300 grams soft dark brown sugar, 150 grams unsalted butter, 2 vanilla pods or 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. Place the cream, sugar and butter in a large saucepan over a medium heat and let the sugar dissolve completely. Rather than stir, gently swirl the ingredients in the pan to prevent a grainy sauce. When everything has melted and mixed, raise the temperature to medium-high. As the sauce cooks, it will brown. Stir now to prevent sticking and burning. Turn the heat down a little if needed. The sugary sauce will burn, so do not get it on your skin. Keep stirring until the sauce is a dark brown colour and coats the back of a spoon. Remove it from the heat and stir in the vanilla. Decant with your new jam funnel into a sterilised jar. Allow to cool completely and then store in the fridge until ready to use. Make ahead. This toffee sauce makes an amazing Christmas gift. Naturalising. Out today to look at what is coming up and rooting down. My Yelena witch hazel has put on a good amount of growth, although still very small. It had sat for 3 years in a pot doing nothing much, mostly drying out and becoming stressed. But now in the ground with roots spreading, it has access to everything it needs. Space, water, nutrients, company. Plants thrive much like humans, really. The first whites of Cyclamen Coum album are settling in. These corms are frost hardy and worth the investment. 5 bulbs cost around £17.50. Their jade-like, dark, glossy ovate leaves hug tight to the ground, while a slim stalk stretches long to support the upswept flower head. They're a welcome sight in midwinter and steadily naturalise in part shade. Alongside them is a small, delicate hoop petticoat daffodil, which is out and flowering. Beautiful, enchanting, but surely too early. Wild flowers and weeds. The quai ghost of a foxglove is still in flower in the dry border, resistant to frost, yet too late for pollination, itself out of season. These outliers remain precious to me, diverging from nature's intentions as reminders to us of the gradual shifting of the planet's climactic conditions. If mild enough, this is the perfect time of year to spot hairy bittercress, which are identifiable by their rosette-like, flat, posing leafleted green leaves. Control their growth and spread by picking whole for a salad. Discard the small root by nipping off and munch in moderation whilst wandering round the garden. Only ever forage weeds and wild food when you can positively identify them, and only ever from areas you are 100% sure are pesticide-free. Some hope. Yearning to grow, I bought a small packet of supermarket basil. Upon opening, the wrapper was recycled into the perpetual soft plastic bag that now lives in the utility, and the elastic band went in the drawer with others of its kind. Snipping the ends, I filled a small glass with water, adding a tiny tip of rooting hormone. It is best to remove and eat any leaves that would fall below the waterline, as they will rot. I did consider placing the glass next to the window for maximum light, but decided to protect it from cold drafts on the kitchen shelf, in the hope they will delight me by taking root. Lang my your lumreek wi' other folks' coal. Rain is falling outside, steadily in the dark morning. A grey squirrel is looking for breakfast, or second breakfast, or brunch, outside my window, carefully trailing along the leafy grass, finding titbits. Excitement rises in me for old end-of-the-year shenanigans, an entry into a fresh new beginning, a new phase of the calendar. So, as we say in Scotland, with a generous piece of buttery shortbread in one hand and a glass of chilled iron brew in the other, Ora best pals, and a happy hogmanay to you and yours. Our December compendium summarises the unfolding events of midwinter in a nature garden. First strawberry planter. boundaries, Mediterranean compost. Enjoy the inside. Filbert's last leaf. There is no rush. Crows, mist. Yield to the call of the garden. A checkup. Gooseberry jam made. A storm moves in. Second strawberry planter. Future planning. Frost sparkling. Thresholds unfold. Final garlics planted. Weed and release. Scattering rattle. Clearing the wildflower meadow. Tidying the potting bench. Spent brambles. Tumbled terracotta and a surprise. Midwinter, the shortest day. Hellebore joy. Deep rest mode. Contemplate collected seed. Play the aconite long game. Lunaria casts silver skins. A jam funnel. Witch hazel. Come all ye cyclamen. Hairy bittercress. Supermarket basil. End of the old year. In the next episode, we welcome a new year, a novel beginning, and a fresh page in our vibrant life. That's all to come in the future, next time. This episode was lovingly created by me, Angela Wallace. You've been amazing, and we've been Biophilic. Thanks for listening. Tap follow, and I'll be back soon with a new episode.